only. We are going to skip the song today because we've been gone for over a week. Bree is happy, okay? Bree is happy. Welcome back to another episode of Frank Presents the Play Call, okay? I'm super excited. We took Thanksgiving off. June said, hey, we got to take time off for the family. I was like, you know what, June, you're right. Nikki is busy tonight, so she's not going to be able to join us. Anyway, I'm joined with June and Bree. How you guys doing?
Do you want to go first?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. The holidays were very relaxing. I felt like I was retired all over again. It was a weird feeling, but it feels really good. Every day feels like a Thanksgiving to me ever since the 31st of October. I don't know why, but yeah. But I'm happy to be here, you guys.
I'm very good. I got to frock a second class or I got to pin a second class to first class today at the frocking ceremony. That made my day. And I'm doing good. There's no song today, so that was the Christmas gift I needed a little early. But I'm doing good, Steelers won, Celtics won twice, FSU won, and Samantha Darnold won. Like, what else could I ask for,
There's a lot we can ask for.
Jay Herbo won. Like, what else could I ask for? Literally.
So, oh my God, man, so much to talk about. And just it's crazy how you don't record for 1 week and you have all these different topics that ran through your head. So real quick, I'm gonna recap last week's games. I have the who's leading right now. Nikki sent it to me. So if you guys give me a second, I'll pull it up. I didn't want to pull up on the computer and it just starts playing them dumb videos in the background. So last week was week 12. On Thursday, we had Thanksgiving, we had Patriots at Vikings. Patriots lost 26-33. Bills at Lions, 28-25. Bills favorite, and New York Giants at Cowboys, 20-28 Cowboys. On Sunday, we had the Bucks at Browns. Bucks lost in overtime, 17-23. Bengals started off slow against the Titans in Tennessee, but came back to win, 20-16. Texans at Dolphins. That was a mollywop, 30-15. Bears at Jets. They made a switch. The Jets did, and it worked out. Bears 10, Jets 31. Falcons at Commanders. That was a close game, 13-19 Commanders favor. Broncos at Panthers. Russ didn't cook. Samantha came back in. Sam Darnold did, and he won the game, played well, brought up a lot of questions, 10-23. Ravens at Jaguars. Another stunner, 27-28 Jaguars with a last-minute touchdown to seal the game. We'll talk about that later on. Chargers at Cardinals. Chargers 25-24. Raiders at Seahawks, 40-34. Josh Jacobs went off. Rams at Chiefs. Chiefs 26, Rams 10. Saints at 49ers, 13-0 in the 49ers' favor. Packers at Eagles. Packers came out swinging, ended up losing, 33-40. Then Steelers at Colts Monday night. Steelers put out the win, 24-17. That is the Week 12 recap. And right now, June and Nikki tied on the week with 10 correct predictions, followed by me with 9, and then Bree with 8. But the totals is June has 118. Nikki has 112. I have 109, and Bree has 99. So it looks like
crazy.
June might take it all this year. You know what I'm saying? It's got a strong lead there. Strong lead. Real quick, let's do we got 2 weeks that we saw football we didn't talk about. So I'll do 5 minutes each person on the takeaways. You don't need the 5 minutes, don't use it. But if you do, go ahead. Let's start with Bree.
Okay. So Samantha Darnold was back, He's back. He said, this is my job. I should have started, but my broke ass injury 11 weeks ago had me not playing, which I feel like a lot of those games would have been different outcomes if he was a starter. He wasn't the answer. I said it before the season started, and a lot of people said, no, Baker. And then look how that turned out. Okay. So I was right, per Um, the Steelers pulled out that W, and I was not impressed with Matt Canada once again for his play calling. I don't agree with it. I really don't. What else? Hold on, let me look through the games. I wasn't allowed to watch the Giants and Cowboys game on Thanksgiving because my mom is a Giants fan and they were losing. So she said, Brianna, you better not fucking turn that goddamn game on. You know, I had company and everything. We were trying to drink, you know, watch the game, all that stuff. She would not allow me to watch the game. She wouldn't. The Browns, wow. Overtime. If that defender would have got Amari Cooper, that probably would have been a different outcome, you know. Me and Frank's face on FaceTime because I was watching the Panthers and Broncos and Frank was watching that and Frank was like, I thought something bad happened. Jets pulled out the W. And that's really much. Jimmy G struggled against the Saints. He is like it. That was a game that is like, wow, you know, that's a game he's supposed to take off because the competitors he overshines. And then maybe it's just his one, you know, everyone's entitled to have an off day. He hasn't really had an off day this season yet. So maybe that's what it is, but I want him to do better because, you know, that's my guy. But Eagles also look good. Jalen Hurts, he had 157 rushing yards and over 100 passing yards as well. And he also got a shout out from Brady yesterday on SiriusXM radio. So major shout out to Jalen Hurts because he looked phenomenal. He looked good. And that's really much all I have. But everybody knows the main topic of today is Samantha Donald. So Jude, take it away. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to. I normally leave my team last to give my team their flowers after their week, but today I'm going to start. Right. Big shout out to Trent Hugh Douglas. They got inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame. Huh?
Your signal, you cut off at the beginning.
Yeah. You say you normally.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to give a huge shout out to Trent Cole and Hugh Douglas. They got inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame during the game on Sunday night. So shout out to them. Huge shout out to Jalen in 158
You're breaking
yards.
up again. You're breaking up again.
Franchise record for the Eagles. I'm going to log in from my other device. Okay. Hold on. Boom.
He's logging in from his other device, Frank. Say something, Jim.
There you go. You gotta change that name. You gotta change that name.
What is it? Let me change it again. I don't even know what's on here.
It
I haven't been on.
NCC Munoz. That's what it says.
Holy moly! Don't be saying that, bro. That's.
It's not. I'm saying you still got it up there like it's you. I'm about to call you the Navy and tell them that you want to come back.
Don't do that, man. Lord, it's scary there. But shoot, man. What I was saying was, huge shout out to I'm looking at my notes. I have my notes here. You know, I'm trying to be all professional and stuff. So 158 yards for Jalen Hurts, franchise record. Big shout out to him. I mean, my dude had 100 yards in the first quarter. Shoot, you know.
The first 5 minutes. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, it was the first 5 minutes. Yeah.
You know, I think it was kind of funny. You know, they were like, "Hey, what do you got to say about that?" And what did he say? They just couldn't catch me. You know. So that's super huge for him. Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, they're both going back and forth. They're tied for third place. Well, they were tied for fourth, and for most sacks in franchise history. So when Brandon Graham got one, he moved up to fourth, And then when Fletcher Cox grabbed his, he moved up to third. And then, Brandon Graham got his, and then they were flopping back and forth. I think that was pretty dope. And NFC Player of the Week is Jalen Hurts, by the way. So, but other than that, all I gotta say is the Bills, right? I hate talking about the Bills. That's a team I don't like talking about, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about them. They beat the Lions by 3 points, the same amount of points that we beat them by in the first week. I don't know. I just don't see the consistency and the progression in the Bills of kind of making steps forward to solidify that Super Bowl run that a lot of folks had them. Even me, I had them at one point. So, so that's that. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. Shout out to the NFC East. Shoot, man, they're running the entire NFC. The playoff picture is everybody against us, right? That's what it looks like right now. I hate to talk about this man, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring him up. Russell Wilson, my lord, my dude. I don't even know what to say anymore, man. Sometimes I be trying to get him the benefit of the doubt, and say that it's his coach, which I still think is his coach. But I got to put some of the blame on him too, because it's not fair to everybody else. The Commanders, 7-5. They're in the wild card. I mean, shoot, what can you say about that? And then the Dolphins. The Dolphins look really good, man. They look very consistent with their play. They look like the chemistry is there. They look like they're not struggling when everybody's in sync, and that's pretty much how it's been since Tua was been healthy. But if I was them, I would definitely get that second string quarterback somewhat in there, just in case, because they look horrible when he was gone. Yeah. Man, the Jets quarterback. I didn't pick him up on fantasy because I got Tua in all 4 of my leagues in my bench, and I got Jalen and Lamar Jackson and my other ones, but he wouldn't be a bad pickup if he remains consistent. I do want to talk a little bit about that because they brought up a good point on ESPN about how the coach is addressing that situation. So they asked him if he's moving forward with Wilson. I mean, with White. And instead of saying that Wilson hasn't earned his jersey to play in the game, he just said, we'll see how it goes as long as his play is correct. I mean, would you address the media somewhat like that, or would you keep it real? Would you try to play the media role? I mean, obviously, I think in our eyes, I don't know if Wilson is mature enough to be the leader in that offense.
It's well, I'll let you go ahead. You
Oh, wait, is that still is that still your 5 minutes or?
Oh, well, shoot. Well, let me just wrap it up. It's only a few games, but that's a question I did want to bring up. The the Ravens, I don't even know what to say about that. It's a good win for the Jags. Good win for Duval. Doug Peterson, shout out to him, Super Bowl 52, smash Patriots. The Chargers, they did their thing. Incredible way for Seattle to get that W. Jacobs did his thing. I mean, shoot, how do you win a game? I mean, with an 86 or 90 yard, return. I mean, shoot, it don't get any better than that. Niners shut out the Saints. I don't know what's going on over there. And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They beat the Rams. The Rams are going to continue to struggle for the rest of the year, and it's a wrap for them. And the Steelers. That was actually a pretty good game. You could definitely see the immaturity in the coach when it came down to time management for Saturday for their coach.
For the Colts.
For the Colts, I think that was horrible. But yeah, but that's my take in the last 5 minutes of watching I watched most of the games. I've seen some of the highlights from the ones I missed, but other than that, I'm excited. the Eagles are 10-1, and it's a weird week. And
You're breaking up again, June.
Yeah, he is.
Look at his face was frozen. It was like he's
I'm not
crying.
even talking.
No, like when you
I am
were,
crying.
you broke up and your screen went completely frozen and your face was stuck like this.
I am crying.
You look like you were crying, no, for real.
Yeah. So
All right, now, but that's it. That's all I got.
for me, 2 weeks of football, oh my God. No consistency in the NFL. Only select teams have it.
Panthers.
Yeah. Cowboys are number 1 in scoring since Dak Prescott got back. Let's see. Eagles, I think, are getting tested and they're playing well. They're showing that they're not one verse. They're throwing the ball well. They're running the ball well. And I think they're developing into a team that you got to pick and choose your poison. So they responded well against the Packers. NFL needs to get these calls right. Many times in football, we've seen plays like the one the Jaguars did not be a touchdown. And we're like, oh, it was a touchdown. No, it wasn't. Now all of a sudden, they want to pull out. If the calf or the shin touches the end zone before the knee or the butt does, it's a touchdown. Or was that at plenty of times before? The Ravens, the Steelers were a victim of a receiver passing the goal line, but because he was a receiver and not a runner, it was a fumble. They changed the rules the following year. And then in Minnesota, the hand was under the ball, but it wasn't a touchdown. So many plays that went uncalled, I guess, the right way. To me, I felt they robbed the Ravens. But again, Ravens should never let that get to that point against a team that would not match up to them any other time. So what I'm trying to say is a lot of parity in the NFL this year. A lot of teams that we've consistently thought were going to be great turn out to be duds. NFC East is not the NFC least no more. That's for sure. And the AFC, until the Patriots lost to the Vikings, they would have been all in the playoffs if you ended that day. So a lot of surprises there. Where's Odell going? Where is Odell going?
He meets with the Giants tomorrow.
Well, he was on a flight, and he's not going there anymore because he was Cloud9.
So
that was on Sunday.
Even though my team lost to the Vikings, I felt it was a good loss because they showed some games there. And I think poor decisions on the Patriots, bad execution on certain things. The penalty against special teams, I think hurt. But I see a lot with them. They got a good defense, and I think they'll be better moving forward. It's just so much, but just to me is the inconsistency, not only in the play calling, not only in the players, but in the refereeing of the game as well. And Russell, you're not cooking, so let's not ride no Broncos country. Bree, what is one topic you want to talk about today?
First, I just had a brain fart. So first, I want to say, shout out to Mike White, and Mike White's the unopposed. You know the drill. But I want to say shout out to him because 2 days ago, let me find it real fast. They posted on Twitter. They posted that his passer rating in week 12 was 149.3, and he had the highest passer rating amongst all the QBs. Shout out to him. He's undefeated since he's played last year, What I want to talk about is, of course, I know what I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
Who should they continue to play as starting quarterback the rest of the season in Carolina?
Man.
You want to go first, June, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. Put Baker in there, man. Put Baker in there. You paying him an X amount of millions of dollars.
So sorry, let me rephrase my question. Who should they start in Carolina for the rest of the season to win games? There you
go. They're not going to win games. So they just got, there was a lucky win last week, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe keep rotating them. I don't even think there should be a starting quarterback. Just keep rotating them to see who's going to give you what. I mean, you're paying Baker a lot of money to be there, whether it's 1 or 2 years. I forgot what the contract was, but
it's
you're paying
1 year.
him a lot of money regardless.
That's one.
All right. Well, hey, keep him out there. Rest. If you got faith in Sam, I mean, Sam looked good last week, but Sam also did look good for one game last year, and he looked good for one game the year before that. So it's kind of hard to say. I don't believe in any of those. I used to believe in Baker. I used to, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. Crazy franchise.
So Frank said something while I was watching the game, hold on. I gotta open this real fast.
So I'm gonna tell you this, while you do that. You have to pick. I agree with you, June. You got to see what you have, right? But we've gotten a taste of Baker the whole season, and the taste that Baker gave us wasn't the best. And you have to make a decision what you're gonna do moving forward. So, do I think that any one of these quarterbacks is the answer to a long-time franchise? No, I do not think that. However, you have to see who's going to give you the best chance, right? Whether it be a game manager because your defense is pretty good, or they can make the right plays to get you at the right time to the next level. So I say play Sam this weekend. You're not in competition for a wild card spot or anything. So play Sam and say, let's see what you have. Another team. And then, how many games are left? We're in week 12 now, going on 13. Maybe split it, Give Sam this one, last one, this one, maybe the next one, then give Baker the other ones and see who does best. Because you got to make a decision. So I would see what Sam has and give him a chance in there. And if he wins again, then, now you start looking at, okay, is it this because it's towards the end of the season and some teams are not caring? Because schedules dictate too what's going to happen. And if we look at this week, Carolina is playing. I can't see it. Hold on. Are they on a bye?
Yeah, they're on a bye.
So they don't play anybody. So Sam is going to get the win. Yes.
2-0.
But week 14, they're playing. Where we at? Come on. They're playing Seahawks in Seattle. I think that'll be a good test for Sam Darnold. Having the bye week, getting with the first team reps, getting all that going, send him into Seattle. If he can pull out the win in Seattle with a Geno Smith that's playing pretty well, a team that's doing well, Seahawks are 6-5. I mean, that's better than what they thought it was going to be without Russell Wilson. So I'll give it a shot there. You never know. They might pull it out.
I agree with everything you said, Frank. Something that me and Frank were talking about on FaceTime when I was watching that game and he was watching a different game was Sam Darnold has previous experience with that offense. So why are you looking at me like that? Sorry, I was trying to finish my food so I don't talk with food in my mouth, And I had told him, I said, yeah, that's cool, but they made a lot of changes to the offense while he was on IR. And you got to think, he's been out for 11 weeks, was told 4 days ago that he's the starting quarterback. So he has 4 days to adjust to the new aligned offense that they have. And he made it look easy. He made it look really easy. Yes, they were playing the Broncos, But it's sad when the Broncos defense special teams have more points in fantasy than their own quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But he made it look easy. He adjusted quick and fast. And y'all know that's my best friend. So I have to show love. I'm being biased as hell. But he made it look easy.
Okay, June, what you got your hand up? What's up?
You know, I think when you're put in a situation, right, when you have pretty much nothing to lose, you got a different offense in front of you. Your superstar, McCaffrey, he's gone. Your number one receiver, Robbie Anderson, he's gone, right? And then they give you a position pretty much where it's yours to lose, right? Because that's how bad the other quarterback's been playing. And I didn't even think our buddy was doing so bad. What's his name, Walker?
DJ Moore?
I don't think he was doing so bad before he got.
Oh, Walker, the other quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, I think he got hurt, right? I think he was doing okay. I think he was doing his job as a backup quarterback, and he was performing well with what he had, given the position that he owns, a backup quarterback. Now, I think that if he would have never got hurt, he would have still been starting last week, in my opinion. So I think I don't know. It's just a weird situation for that franchise. They're on rebuild mode, so their players are really playing for them spots.
So there was a tweet on Twitter. I think I either sent it to Frank or put it in the chat. They said the tweet was, Frank, what was the tweet?
Which one?
I know I sent Frank a lot. Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
To me individually?
I don't think so. I think I might have put it in the chat on Sunday. And then I have a big topic like that we need to discuss because it was the tweet says DJ Moore when Sam Darnold is his quarterback. And it had a picture of Rice.
Oh yeah.
Now DJ Moore, he took off. So I don't know if you guys seen or heard, but next topic is we haven't talked about this man in a long time.
No.
Deshaun Watson.
Mm.
And 10 of his victims will be in attendance of his game against the Texans.
Mm.
And they said that they're showing up at 10 too. Like 10 are showing up at 10. Like, it was kind of weird.
Yeah. So all of them were invited, and some of them said they weren't going to go, but 10 of them are coming.
So what's the point? What's the point, right? And I'm trying to be nice on what I say, but what is the point? If you was that victimized, if you was that hurt, why would you want to see him out there on the field still playing the game that you thought he wasn't going to play no more when you came out and made your accusations? So what's the point of being there? Is it to distract him from what's going to happen? Right now in one of my leagues, he's projected to score more points than Lamar Jackson. And he hasn't played a league of football in I don't know how long. So what's the point?
Because it's the Texans. That's why he's projected that many points.
Well, my thing is, what's the point? What's really the point? I think it's a ploy on the team. The same team that covered up his actions at one point is the same team that dropped a dime and snitched on him when he didn't want to play with them no more on some kind of owner-slave mentality. Oh, since you don't want to play with me or play for my team anymore, here it goes. I'm gonna put you out there. Nobody's gonna want you. Get back here, boy, and sit down and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? What? Two Supreme Court judges felt that there wasn't sufficient evidence to file criminal charges against him. He paid. Even when he still maintained his innocence, he paid to put it to bed, and now you're gonna have him come to the game? That's stupid. To me,
Yep, the defense attorney for the women invited the women.
Yeah,
To
of course he did. So here's what I'm gonna say, and people get mad if they want. To me, by doing that, you're negating what you went through. By you doing that, it's taking away from what you're really trying to put out there. Because you're allowing a team and the lawyer to use you as pawns in a game of life just to distract one person from playing the best game of his life, probably. No. It's stupid to me. It's dumb. That's how I feel about it.
I was reading about it, and they were saying that some of the women that got together to make the decision to go said they were going to remind him that they're standing up against men like him, right? And that they're not going away that easily. Also, you settled. I think there was a settlement made, was not?
Yeah.
I mean, and I was reading a little bit more into it, and for the fact that they settled, depending on what happens or whatever, it could be somewhat of harassment in a sense, right? And
He
I
could
mean,
sue him.
yeah, I mean, he could sue for his money right back, but I'm not sure how that works or whatever the case is. So I'm not no crazy legal dude, but it's just insane, in my opinion.
It's very.
That's the reason. You know what I mean? And don't get it wrong. I'm not bashing the women that try to stand up when they go through situations. But I think in this particular situation, given the national spotlight, I think it doesn't look well on them.
Well, I will say this.
And then why, I'm gonna use the word allegedly. Reliving, and I put those in air quotes, through your trauma.
Exactly that, and that's the point I was trying to make. That's the point I was trying to make. Now, part of healing, some will say, is to face the people that hurt you, and face it so you can move forward, and you don't let it control you no more. The fear. So I don't know, and allegedly we don't know what happened.
But did that happen when they did this? When they settled?
That's that. I agree. I just playing devil's advocate. I think he should have got an order of protection, in my opinion. The minute they said that they were coming to the game, if I was him, I would have been like, I want order of protection. These women accused me. I settled
They can't be nowhere near 20-mile radius of me.
You know what I'm saying? Like they shouldn't be able to come to the game. Because even if he did what that they say he did, even if he did it and he got away with it because he paid them, he has a right to protect himself as well from these people, just like they have a right to protect themselves from him. So I don't agree with it. I think that's a ploy on the defense, and I think that on the attorney, right? He'll say he is playing defense by inviting them, who shows that he has a connection with the team.
Because they getting a suite too.
Yeah. So why? Because again,
and they getting a suite. What?
Yeah, they getting like a box suite.
Bro, there's the same lawyer that said, I don't even know the owner of the Texans, but I live in the same neighborhood. I don't know the owner of the Texans, but I was calling them for them to draft Johnny Manziel to the Texans. I don't know the owner, but we're all millionaires and we hang in the same circle. I don't know him, though. I don't know him. Come on, man.
And I'm getting a suite.
Yeah, and I'm getting a suite for the victims. But you see, that's what they're going to do is say, oh, well, they're victims, so we give them a suite. No, y'all trying to win the game. You're trying to discredit this man. You're trying to get in his head. And if I was Deshaun, man, look, keep your faith. Stay strong, bro. Go out there and play the best game you can play after not playing for a while. Take your time, run the ball. Y'all got a good run game, two good running backs. Your defense is pretty decent. And you know what? If Jacoby Brissett can go out there and win some games and beat the Bucs in overtime, which, I mean, it ain't really much because the Bucs this year is not the Bucs of last year or the year before, but you did it against Tom Brady and his team. Hey, Deshaun Watson, who's supposed to be a better caliber quarterback than Jacoby Brissett, should be able to go out there and win the game against the Texans that's been struggling. Yeah.
Cardinals reportedly fire offensive line coach Sean Kugler for groping a woman in Mexico last Sunday night.
Idiot.
You should never did it. Stupid. Keep your hands to yourself. And you in a different country.
Man.
If you really want to grope some stuff, go pay for it. You can grope it.
Because
all-
you can, if she wanted to like press charges, he would have to go back to Mexico.
And just like we give Deshaun Watson whatever, he's in another country, and we know that in some countries people do this to get money. So we don't know the ins and outs. You know, I hope that he didn't do it, but if he did do it, then he should pay a price for it, whether it be money or face the press or whatever. But we don't know. We don't know. And I've heard stories of other places you go to visit, and they tell you don't leave the resort, stay in the resort, because the minute you go out the resort, the cops are trying to get money out of you. The locals are trying to get money out of you. Yeah, you can speak Spanish and still get your money taken. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like he should have been better. Again, you're going to another country. You're there with a team. Stick with the team. Conduct yourself accordingly. If I have that much money, it's like right now, Khaled's in Saudi Arabia for the first time ever. He's with Fat Joe's peoples, everybody out there. Why are you going to leave the reservoir and go wander by yourself? Stick with the team. Stick with the bodyguard. Stick with the people that's going to take care of you instead of going doing some crazy stuff. So, I don't know. Stupid. What my wife says, stupid games win stupid prizes. So, there you go.
Deshaun, I meant, that's it, Deshaun, sorry. Lamar Jackson, let's talk about it.
Well, the thing about his tweet, deleting his tweet, or just in general.
What tweet? What tweet did he delete?
There was something on on Speak and stuff like that where he deleted a tweet. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because real quick, June, before you go in, it's talking about the Lamar Jackson. Look, June has said something, and I've tried to argue all season with him about certain things because it's the eye test, is what we see. I thought he was being a hater, but these guys are doing it, and they're taking away the bullets out my gun to shoot. Let's start with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Before the season starts, some had them going to the Super Bowl, and they possibly could still go. It's any given Sunday. But you're not playing like a quarterback that wants to go to the Super Bowl. Nah, not when you got Patrick Mahomes over there playing good football without his number one wide receiver. Finding it a way to win. Lamar Jackson. See, Patrick Mahomes is the top of the totem pole in the AFC. If you want to go to the Super Bowl, you got to go through him. Bengals did it last year and went to the Super Bowl. If you want to go, the Patriots did it and went to the Super Bowl. If you want to go to the Super Bowl, you got to go through them. Now, you can't beat a person of a team that's playing great football and consistently coming up with a way to win and not making stupid mistakes. Both of them. There's no reason why the Ravens should have lost to the Jaguars. None whatsoever. None. I'm sorry, Nikki. It's your team. I get it. But look, they've lost by one possession. So what? They lost. I don't give a damn if a person loses by a point or 30, you lose. It's what it is. And what it is. And you might have caught that team, Toby, what's up? Off guard.
Yeah, he just stared at me.
Yeah. And they just came around and won. But the Ravens were the better team and should have won, and they didn't. So, Lamar, what are you doing, bro? And that falls on you. That falls on you. And you know what? We were giving him credit all season for him throwing the ball. And I feel like now they're reverting back to what they used to be, where if he can't make the play running, they fall apart. He can't be your number one running back. He can't be your number one weapon. You see, Jalen, he's finding a way that you can't throw the ball. Well, he goes out and throws for 4 touchdowns the next game. Oh, well, let's see what he does with this one. I'm going to run the ball. And what I like about it is that the team, the coaching is saying, you know what? I don't care what people say. If Jalen's going to run the ball 1,000 times and get us 800 yards, then that's what he's going to do. And we're going to win the game. That's a team that understands the assignment. What is there to say about Lamar? Lamar, to me, I like Lamar. I do. But you're losing games to the Jaguars, bro, and you want to get paid, and you're going into the playoffs against the Chiefs, against a team like the Bengals that might pull it out and shock they start off slow, they come around, bring it back together. Miami, you said Miami. Oh my God, Miami Dolphins, I think could beat the Chiefs. I think Miami has what it takes to beat the Chiefs. And like I told Bree, I think, or Nikki, the X factor in the Miami Dolphins is Tyreek Hill. This man is such a strong presence that no matter what team he goes to, he's changing the game. Because you have to worry about him. And he's consistent. That's the thing. He's so consistent that even on an off game is a great game. So as far as Lamar goes, I know I went on a little tandem. Lamar, hey, buddy, I need to see more. Losing to the Ravens is not going to get it. Not going to get it. I'm sorry.
I agree. Everything you said, bro. I think that Lamar's tweet, it was somewhat offensive to, I think they said to the LBG community or whatnot, and then he deleted it. He said something along the lines, I'm pretty sure I don't know what's because he deleted it, but that's what they said. But I think it was very immature of him, regardless of the loss. I don't care if you would have lost to the Texans, bro. And I think the Texans are a worse team. I still don't think that you should come out of character. I get the being upset. You know what I'm saying? The whole yelling and cursing and all that. It is what it is. But I think certain things you got to be a professional about because the cameras are on you 24/7, especially on social media. Especially on social media. I think that looking at that game because I was watching it too. I was surprised that Andrews had so many drops. He didn't have so many. He probably had like 2 or 3 drops, but they were crucial. His receivers, crucial drops. And the kicker has said something like, man, you could tell. And now they're referring back to what you were saying, Frank, to that running game, which obviously is showing a lot of frustration, given the lack of calls that they can only play. But yeah, hey, bad loss, buddy. And 100% the Dolphins right now, given that loss, I have to put the Dolphins, the team to beat in the AFC.
Not the Chiefs?
No, the Chiefs were never the team to beat me at all.
I think the Dolphins are as well.
I believe so too.
I think they're probably number 2 because they're sneaky, man. Andy Reid is a sneaky playmaker.
So things stay on social media forever, no matter how many times you try to erase it.
Yeah.
So someone, I'm not going to put their name, because tweeted and said, and it wasn't offensive to the LGBT community. It was just more offensive as in, why would you talk to somebody like that, Someone tweeted, when someone is asking for over 250 million guaranteed, like at Lamar Jackson, games like this should not come to Justin Tucker. Let Lamar walk and spend that money on a well-rounded team. Fans, they get aggravated. I'm guilty of it on Twitter. And, they tweet their feelings, Lamar replies to him and said, boy, shut the fuck up. Y'all be capping too much on this app. Motherfucker never smelled a football field ever. Motherfucker never smelled, his grammar so bad. Motherfucker never smelled a football field. Never did shit but eat dick. Oh, I get why that's offensive to the LGBT because he's saying you never done anything but suck dick, basically. So that was the tweet. I think it was a little extreme. So I think that's why they called it anti-LGBT because he said you've never done anything but eat dick. But
Here we go again. Here we go again. He can say what he want to say. Not everything's directed to a group of people.
yeah, so I don't think it was that, but the way it looks, you know, some people might take offense to it. Like, you've never done anything but eat dick, you know? But like, so
So here's what I'm
but
gonna
I do feel like as a professional athlete, you know,
there you go.
just do what they do to me. Just block them.
Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, not everything warrants a response. And you're trying to get paid. And they don't want to pay you. Because if they wanted to pay you, they would have paid you before the season started. Them motherfuckers probably sitting there hoping that you got hurt. So we can say, oh, look, we don't have to pay you, but you haven't. Thank God. Knock on wood. You haven't got hurt. So why are you going to give these people an opportunity not to give you what you think you deserve or what you might rightfully deserve? And
Now I will say, oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say, and by him showing his emotions, shows that he's upset about the loss.
Mhm.
Because there's been plenty of times Lamar gets up on the stage and doesn't say nothing negative. Very humble, very, very humble, very, you know, eating.
But you know, Lamar on Twitter is a different Lamar. Because remember the stuff with Adam Schefter happened? And he was like, fuck that man, all this other stuff, you know, and they was like, Lamar, chill. He's like, nah, fuck that, you know, like, but I would say that the first half, the guy didn't lie. You want a team to pay you 250 mil, but games like you shouldn't have to rely on games like this on Justin Tucker.
100%. Not even, I'm not.
So like,
we said,
are you mad because he told the truth?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he's mad. People, you know it. When we talk to people, if you tell a person the reason you don't fit that outfit is because you gain weight and you need to lose some weight, they know it's true, but they don't want to hear that from you, so they get upset and get defensive. It's just what it is. People don't want to hear the truth because they know it and they're bothered by it. He knows he shouldn't have lost to the Ravens. I mean, no, the 11 lost to the Jaguars. He knows that. Lamar knows that. He knows that he should never lost to the Jaguars. And again, no shot to Jaguars and no shot to Nicky's team. I'm just keeping it a buck.
But even not the Jaguars, who else did they lose to, you know? But there are games where they have to rely on Justin Tucker to win the game as well this season, you know? He's missed 2 field goals this season so far, you know? Last year he only missed 1. This year he missed 2.
You know, I mean, that's to me, I think he's still
the best kicker in the league, you know? But it's like you shouldn't have to rely on him too much, you know?
What my dude was taking 70-yard field goals before the game. That's insane.
Yes. So when old buddy said, when someone is asking for over 250 million guarantee, games like this should not come to Justin Tucker. He didn't lie.
They lost to
I don't know.
about 4 in week 2, the Dolphins, which the Dolphins are the Dolphins. We can't say they beat the Patriots by 11 in week 3. In week 4, it's not loading up. Let me see.
I got it. I got you, Frank.
They lost to the Bills by 3, right? And then what else? So they have some losses versus good teams, right? Teams that they should have want to be.
But the keyword is games like this.
Yeah, they beat the Bengals.
But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna say something that
lost to the Giants by 4.
Will agree with.
You're breaking up, Jim. You're breaking up, Jim.
I'm not talking.
No, you were just talking, and it was like.
Yeah, it was breaking up. Bro.
I know because Frank was talking. All right, well, hey, listen. There's 4 quarterbacks that I'm gonna say. Right. Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray. 3 of those quarterbacks are not playing to that potential of that multi-million-dollar guarantees, right? And I'm gonna include Watson in there because he ain't play game and he's still getting paid guaranteed money. There's
That's
Lamar
fair.
Jackson deserves every bit of what he's asking, and he's showing us why. When you compare those to those other 3 contracts that are being played all season right now.
So
We're not, but I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the money. I'm saying that the first
No,
half
no, I'm
of
saying
the
about that comment you said about what he said,
asking,
250.
yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not saying like, oh, Lamar doesn't deserve the money at all. What we're saying is, if you want that much money, you shouldn't have to rely on Justin Tucker to kick a winning field goal to end the game. That's what we're saying. Or you're gonna fall in that category of the other 3 quarterbacks who are getting these multi-million-dollar contracts that aren't living up to it. It's saying, oh, okay, I'm not producing like I should. I'm gonna rely on my kicker to kick the game-winning field goal because I can't drive the ball down the goddamn field.
So that's understandable against certain teams. I'll eat that against the Bills. I'll eat that against the Dolphins. I'll eat that against the Chiefs. I'll eat that against the Eagles in a close game. I'll eat that against maybe the 49ers now. But I'm not going to eat that. And I agree with Bree against the Jags. Now, what I believe they should have paid him. I do. I think Lamar Jackson is a generational player. I think he's one of our premier quarterbacks in the league. I don't blame him for not being able to do certain things that other quarterbacks do because they're not forcing him to do it. They're not.
I agree.
Like with Jalen, they're allowing Jalen to throw the ball when he needs to throw the ball. Do I think they protect Jalen with certain plays? Of course I do. And I now stand on my 10 toes and say, your team beefed up that defense because they knew that if it came down to it, they have to have a strong defense to support. They couldn't afford to give up too many points. You know what I'm saying? Which is smart. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Brady won 3 Super Bowls with a great defense and being an average quarterback. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? But Lamar, the issue I have with Lamar is that the teams already showed you that they don't want to pay you that money. Let's not let one person's desperate measures or one person's circumstance dictate everybody else's. The Browns were stupid to give Deshaun Watson all that money. Now, if next year Deshaun Watson goes on to win the Super Bowl, then I'm gonna sit here and say I was wrong. Then the money was worth it. But until that happens, that was stupid. Okay. Kyler Murray, the team knows the guy doesn't watch film. They know he don't watch film because
He said it.
He says it, and the tablets that they gave him logs the hours of you watching the film, and he doesn't even meet the minimum requirement, I think, of 4 hours a week of watching film. But yet when you go out there and you play a game and situational football kicks in and you screw the pooch because you're not watching film to know the tendencies of another team, then I give you the money, but I put in the contract, hey, you got to watch film. But then because your lawyer says something, I take it out because I don't look bad. That's desperate. That's that team. That's stupid on them.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson, Bree said he was mediocre. I gave Russell Wilson a little bit more credit. I'm not going to say it's on the head coach because you are a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You've been to 2 Super Bowls. And you had winning records. So guess what, my man? You're on the field with Jerry Jeudy, Sutton. I don't know who else is out there with you. You got a good run game. You got your defense is not letting people score more than 17 points per game. They're the number 3 scoring defense. All you have to do is put up 18 points per game, and you're averaging 14, which is the worst in the league. There are some plays that you can audible at the line and make the play happen, and you're not even doing that. So regardless of the coach can't call the calls, it does not matter. The same way old boy didn't give you the ball in the Super Bowl to hand off to this thing and try to throw and stuff in there. This coach didn't let you do that on one of the first games of the season. You are not cooking. So that another stupid play. So I think Lamar Jackson, don't let another person's pocket. Don't live your life off somebody else's pockets because you're not going to live right. But that team showed you what's up.
Say it again.
I agree.
That team showed you what's up. Me personally, I don't give a damn how much you offer me guaranteed. I'm playing the market. I ain't playing Lamar because I'm gonna tell you right now. You put Lamar Jackson, and this is gonna hurt for me to say because this is my favorite player of all time. But you put Lamar Jackson on the Bucks with, let's say Bruce Arians comes back, or with the right mentorship and those weapons, yo, you got a problem. You got a problem. If you put Lamar Jackson on the Broncos, you got a problem. He's an X factor. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. You can't let nobody else dictate your pockets. That's just me.
No, I agree, man. I agree. And I agree with what you're saying, Bree. I mean, you can't sit there and put the game-winning drive on the court on the. Well, you shouldn't have to depend on the kicker, right? And I think in certain situations, like Frank said, it's going to come down to it, and it's good to know that you're going to have that cushion there.
Mm-hmm.
That playmaker that I mean, shit. In my opinion, I think he probably should have made that 67 rounder. I mean, that 67 yarder. But
He
it is
almost
what
did
it is.
it. He almost did.
It was like this close.
Yeah. But I mean, but right now, who does Lamar really have, bro? Like, he doesn't have a Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a Connor. He doesn't have.
I was gonna say he has Deshaun Jackson.
So
he's hurt. He came back. He got hurt first game. Crazy, but
no, he played on Sunday.
So who does he have? You're right. He doesn't have the weapons, but you make best what you have, right? He has Andrews. So let's look at it like this. Okay, let's compare. Chiefs, Ravens, Mahomes. Besides Kelsey, who does he have?
Kelsey.
Okay.
Lamar. Besides Andrews, who does he have?
Deshaun Jackson.
Duvernay.
Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker, right? So, but one team is finding a way to do it while the other one is not. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference. That's the difference with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, is that, in my opinion, and I'm not a professional. I go to work. I don't have producers and people giving me notes. In my opinion, from what I see, is that they don't know how to win in certain games. He doesn't do what Mahomes does and takes the check down or certain things. It gets to the point where either he gets nervous or it's Andrews or nothing or him running the ball. You can't win. And I'm saying this because your team has been doing it. Hey, take one thing away. I think the Commanders caught the Eagles off guard. I didn't think the Eagles were prepared for what the Commanders did. That's just my opinion. And it's a divisional game. But what it did was it teach them what not to do moving forward. Even with the Packers. The Packers didn't run the ball well, but they threw the ball well, which every other team ran the ball well against y'all. So now they know, okay, this is what we got to do, which I've said this last summer. I'm going to say this again. Your team's success relies on how far Jalen Hurts can take you in moments. In moments. If he keeps playing the way he's playing and not giving the ball up like that, and making the right throws and running the ball when he has to, y'all guys are going to be good. The defense is up there. But if he reverts back to, let me throw a pick here, a pick there, and you go up against a team that can actually move the ball and put up points, that's a recipe for disaster. You know what I'm saying? Lamar right now, it's sad. It just, to me, against the Jaguars, you lose, bro, like that. And we're not even talking about his defense. We can talk about that defense. The defense that took what? Peters, who picked off the defense that should be able to stop the Jaguars? Because who the Jaguars got? Trevor. Who else?
Well, they got a few. They got Trevor. They got Christian Kirk. They got Marvin Jones.
They got Etienne.
Etienne is really good, and his brother's pretty good too.
So you got Christian.
His brother's really good.
Christian Kirk came from the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Marvin Jones Jr., who came from another team. He's been like on 3 different teams now. So if you were looking
Detroit.
at, who's the number 1 wide receiver right now? Like your number.
I thought it was Marvin Jones.
If you go Eagles, I say AJ Brown. You might say Sanders.
Mhm.
You go down to Pittsburgh, you say Pickett, number one. Which
Yeah,
I like. I like what I'm seeing down there. I like what I'm seeing in Pittsburgh between Pickett and Pickett. I'm telling you, let that develop. And you got Najee running the ball. I think if you get a better tight end,
that's gonna be another. That's gonna be another Ben and Hines
I'm
Ward
telling you,
or Ben and Antonio Brown.
I like what I'm seeing down there.
Thanks, Frank.
No, I'm being serious. It's reminding me of that. Everybody's this in person.
Taught them what to do in the off season.
I know you did. I saw the tweet. Then you got in my side, you got Devontae Parker, you got Jacoby Myers, you got some people that are meshing well with Mac Jones.
So when it comes to the Jags, I say it's ETN and Jones Jr.
See, so but let's be real. In the caliber game, they shouldn't become. It shouldn't come down to a kicker. I'm sorry, we're being a dead horse, but it shouldn't come down to a kicker, and not in that game. Not in that game. Just like the Bucks against the Browns, it shouldn't come down to overtime. And then my face that day was because it was reminiscent to when they blew the coverage against the Rams in the playoffs and let Cooper Kupp get open. Granted, look, we can sit here and throw stats out. Oh, Brady's this. Well, Brady's number one in completions. He's number one in attempts. He's number one in this. He's number one in that. They're just not winning. But sometimes that defense ain't playing up to par. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
And we spoke about this before. Do you think Stephen A. Smith said that he felt that the team, that the Bucs defense or the team was letting down Todd Bowles, and it's so hard for black head coaches to get a job now. And you got Todd Bowles and you have Brian Leftwich there, and the team isn't playing up to par.
They're automatically going to blame it on the black head coaches.
Yeah.
And like I told you on FaceTime the other day, Frank, it's like black head coaches, they have to succeed. They have to do good, because the minute they don't, everyone's already talking about, is they the answer? Fire them, white head coaches could struggle, and if they struggle for 3+ seasons, now it's an issue. I'm gonna give you an example. Mike Tomlin, prior to last season, he's had a winning record for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, we were struggling, and we, like I said on FaceTime, we snuck into the playoffs. We relied on the Jags and the Raiders to make it into the playoffs. We lost first round, but we made it into the playoffs, and we ended with a winning season. But prior to that, when we were struggling and weren't winning games, first thing that everybody said was, Mike Tomlin got to go. He got to go. He's the issue. He got to go. He got to go. Because he's losing games, something that no one's used to, And same with the Bucks. Remember, we said it a few weeks ago. Remember, I was like, oh, all these tweets on Todd Bowles. Look at this, like going bananas. Brady's having an off season, there's no offensive line. We're not going to keep using it as an excuse, but I'm using it in this situation. There's a lot going on in that team right now, and they're not succeeding. But first thing we're going to do is say, oh, Todd Bowles, he got to go, And I feel like
already started with Leftwich.
Yeah, Leftwich too. Both of them have disgusting tweets on Twitter. But it's just like black head coaches, I would say black people in general, we have to succeed in everything that we do. Because the minute we don't, that gives them the pull to take us off our pedestal.
You're right. And see, I don't know, June, go ahead. I know you've been sitting there probably waiting. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, this is something, man. This is something that's been cooking all season, man. All season. I mean, shoot, and the struggles where Brady came. I'm telling you, as soon as that happened, I automatically said they're gonna knock on Byron Leftwich. and they're gonna say why he wasn't ready to coach the Jaguar team, right? That came out a while back ago, and they're still kind of blaming him. Yeah, they're blaming Bowles too, but I think the blame is easier to point to him, from everybody else. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think the coaching position in Houston, they put what's his name, Lovey Smith, right? But they put Lovey there. I mean, let's be real. Would they put Lovey in Green Bay? Would they put Lovey in Miami? You know what I'm saying? No, right? But they put him in Houston. I don't know what the reason was, but to me, I think that certain situations are just cop out situations for certain conversations.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Because Lovie Smith is a good point. Do you think that the issue with the Bucs is weird, right? Because we know Brady was dealing with a divorce. The offensive line ain't the same offensive line. Him and Evans are not even on the same page. Godwin's finally coming back to normal. The run game isn't the same. The defense has been outstanding at times, but then let down at others. Brady has had some great throws, and then some throws you're like, what are you doing? I don't honestly feel like the coaching is the problem. But I tell you what I think is the problem. Bruce Arians has a certain tude to him, right? Bruce doesn't have a problem getting up there and yelling at people or calling people out the press conference and screaming whatever he wants to scream out. And I think that in certain teams, that brings people together. And then you have some leaders that they don't do that. And they're more, I guess, passive. But they don't have the same results.
But it depends on the person too.
Exactly, it does. So do you think, because this was another thing that was brought up, do you think that on the Bucs, the issue is the coaching? Not as far as the play calling, but more of the energy that the head coach brings.
I don't know, man. I think it's a few just given the chemistry that offense lacks, it's kind of hard for me to point fingers. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's really the coaches, or is it the players, or is it the lack of engagement amongst each other that created that great run last year or the year before that. I don't know. I have no idea yet.
I don't know.
But you also have to think about there's been a lot of injuries too, Frank.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I know that. And I'm a realist. But you gotta think, a lot of people don't want to admit that. They don't want to say, hey, injuries can cause a team to struggle. Just like I'm saying Russell should be able to make better plays, despite what the offensive coordinator is calling. Some people might say Brady has the experience, he knows better. You know what I'm saying? It was something that Shannon or somebody said this week, and they said that Brady is not elevating players anymore.
And
when you're in the mindset of, getting a divorce from a woman that you've spent your last 20 years with and all that, like your mind isn't focused, as you have distractions right now. So you can't live up to the expectations 100% like you want to when you have other things you're dealing with outside of football.
But here's what I'm going to say. I agree with them. At 45 years old, I don't expect Brady to do what he did at 25 or 26 or even 30. It's okay to have outside sources that make you better or help each other out. The mental stuff, we know that. But the problem, I think, with Brady is we saw him win a Super Bowl with his mom fighting cancer. Come back from 28-3 in a Super Bowl with his mom fighting cancer. We've seen him overcome so many issues that we forget that they're human. He's human. And eventually you're going to find a weakness. And we all know he loved Giselle. You know, we all know he loved his wife and his family. He grew up with his mom and his father still married to this day. And now you're getting divorced. You got 2 baby mamas. Your dad got only 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that goes there, but I feel that we sometimes forget about what, like, look at the Packers. Is it Aaron Rodgers?
A different situation because we know Aaron Rodgers is a diva and Aaron Rodgers is hard-headed and then he doesn't take the blame for anything. He puts it on everybody else but him.
But he calls out his wide receivers and the next week they win the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. I don't know. It's just this year football season is bananas. It's crazy. It's a parody. It's all over the place. I don't know. But if there's no more topics, we can go into the.
Nope. Yep. We can't get into the pick'ems, but right before we get into the pick'ems, I'm going to read something. It's only going to take me 30 seconds to read it. I'm going to try to read it really fast. So I have mentioned during my little 5-minute like breakthrough of what I saw. Shout out on a positive note when it comes to Brady, because I know we just said a lot. I'm going to read what he said about Jalen Hurts, and I thought it was just so beautiful, and I had to share it with you guys last night. So he was asked by Jim Gray on Sirius XM radio. Jim Gray said, Jalen Hurts accomplished something yesterday so rare in the history of National Football League, 150 yards passing and 157 yards rushing. It was an incredible performance against the Packers. What strikes you when you see something like that? And Tom Brady replied, I've never rushed for more than 100 yards in a season, I don't think. I mean, he did it for 150 yards in a game and made it look relatively easy because I saw some of those highlights. And he just has great skill sets to be able to. You know, you got to have so much awareness too, because when you run those, sorry, I'm trying to talk fast. When you run, those guys are coming at you and they're coming fast. And I think when you have his athleticism, but also he knows exactly when to get down. He knows exactly when to get out of bounds. He starts to run, he stops, and he throws the ball. His ability to make plays in a run game is very impressive. And 157 yards for anybody is incredible. And then to have the ability to pass the football like he does as well. That's why that team is so successful. He's playing at a very, very, very high level, and they're a tough team to stop. And even if you think you've got him stopped for a lot of a game, like the Colts had him a few weeks ago, it comes down to a drive that at the end of the game, and he's got a little bit more energy left in that tank, he makes the game-winning run there at the end for a touchdown.
I like that. And I'm going to tell you something, and I said this in the chat. If he's giving you props, it's because he respects you. Brady don't give props like that if he don't respect you. Just like he don't shake hands with people after games that he knows he should never lost to. Call it what you want to call it, a sore loser, whatever. Like my man and great head coach always said, Bill Lombardi, show me somebody that's good with losing, and I'm going to show you a loser. Alphas don't like to lose. Let's just be honest. Alphas don't. People like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they don't get to where they were at in their pinnacle career by accepting loss. It's just not happening. But shout out to Brady, man. I think that was big on him, and I think that means a lot to Jalen Hurts as well. Because at the end of the day, he might not like Brady, but when you have seven rings and 10 Super Bowl appearances, that's what you're trying to beat. That's what you're trying to beat at the end of the day. Nobody gives a shit about regular season wins. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. June, did you send Jalen Hurts the quote?
We spoke about it.
What did he say?
He just said he appreciated everything, and he just wanted to remind the Packer defense to tackle from here on out.
Okay, so you guys are ready to get into the picks. Frank, you gonna write them down or I read them?
Yes, I'm gonna write them down.
All right.
So the order's gonna be June, Nikki's not here, and then Bree, then me and Bree. That's the order of tie, win, whatever. So.
All right. So on Thursday, December 1st, we have Bills at Patriots. June.
I'm going with the Bills. Damien Harris is not playing, so
You said who's not playing?
Your running back.
Nah, Stevenson's our number one running back.
Mm-hmm.
Harris
Much is red. Oh yeah.
he's been in and out. So Stevenson's the number one running back.
Jacoby Myers is questionable.
You know what, man? This is tough, man. This is tough because I believe the Pats could beat the Bills. Especially with Miller not playing. But I'm gonna go with the Bills on here. I give them the edge.
I'm going Bills because Patriots for some reason haven't found a way to stop Josh Allen with the run game. They lost to Lamar the same reason he started running the ball. I don't think they have the speed at defense to keep. They can spy, but if he gets out on the field, it's going to hurt. And they did it last year to us. I think they did it this year to us as well. So, yeah, I'm going Bills.
No, this is their first year playing. This is your first time playing them this year.
Yeah, I'm going Bills.
I don't know. Something's telling me that Diggs is going to be off. Like something's telling me.
Think so?
No. Maybe because yesterday was his birthday, so he was celebrating and getting drunk and getting high and all that stuff. So he's probably going to be hungover for a couple of days.
Gabe Davis pickup.
Hey, Bree act like she was in the house waiting for him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, we celebrated his birthday. We celebrated his birthday last night. I just flew back like at 3:00 this morning. Yeah, you know.
Got it.
I'm gonna go Bills, but no, I'm gonna go Patriots. I am like like that feeling that you get like when I first saw it, my gut said Patriot, like literally, like my gut said go Patriots. Like I don't know, like I just have a bad feeling.
So here's why I can agree with you. I can go Pats because I just seen the Pats go to toe with the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen the Bills struggle. And I think the Pats have a good defense and a good team to make it happen. However, the Bills should win.
Win.
So I'm going the should. But I could be wrong.
I'm just gonna go with my first gut, and it's telling me like,
all right.
I'm a fortune teller. All right, so the next game, Sunday, December 4th, we have Steelers at Atlanta.
You said the Steelers?
At Atlanta, yeah.
Oh gosh, it's tough because I have no faith in Atlanta whatsoever. And then the Steelers be showing they'll be showing like that. We're good.
I already wrote down.
They're playing in Pittsburgh.
No, they're playing in Atlanta in the Mercedes Dome.
I'll go with Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm gonna go opposite of this hater over here, so I'm gonna go Steelers.
Bree, I already wrote it down. I'm going Steelers as well.
Okay. Next, we have Packers at Chicago Bears.
Who's playing though? See, this is where I get mixed up because if it's not just playing, then I have to go Packers.
No, Justin Fields is playing.
Oh, okay.
I'm going Chicago, but Aaron Rodgers did say today that he was playing.
But yeah, Justin Fields is playing. Chase Claypool is also questionable.
I got Bears too. I've been wrote it down.
I'm gonna do Bears.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have Jags at Lions.
Damn, this is tough.
They got the same
I'm gonna go with Detroit.
You going with Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
I went Lions as well. I know Nikki's going Jags on this one, so I wrote it down.
I'm gonna go Lions, and also their wide receiver Zay Jones. The other Jones is questionable, and ETN is questionable too. So their keys to their offense is questionable. All right, next game we have Jets at Vikings. I'm going New York. I think New York could do it.
No way. I got Minnesota. I think that New York is good, but I don't think they're that good.
Listen, Sauce Gardner. He gonna look. That defense rookie of the year. Got it. All right, next. Who'd you go, Frank?
I went Vikings. I wrote my picks already.
Next, we have Commanders at New York Giants.
I didn't write these picks. I didn't write this one. I didn't put the right. So Washington's favored by 2.5. The over under is 40.5. But they're in New York, man, and I'm going Giants. I'm sorry. I know I went out of order, but I'm going Giants. Well, they're in Jersey, I should say, not New York. Let's be. Giants don't play in New York.
Sorry, Grandma, but I'm gonna go my second favorite, my third favorite backup.
You going Commanders?
Wait, is Carson Wentz playing?
No, Heineken.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go Heineken.
What you got, June?
He says neither because they're in his division.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You got to pick, brother. You got to pick.
I'm going New York.
Okay.
Next, we have Titans at Philadelphia.
June, you ain't even got to say it. I already wrote it down. I'm going Eagles as well.
I'm going Eagles as well.
Okay, y'all got to give me like 2 seconds. I got to use the bathroom real bad. I'll be right back. I've been holding it.
1, 2.
No, not 2 seconds. I mean,
You said 2 seconds.
No.
He did, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tired. I'm sleepy as hell.
Yeah, work. All that work you did today.
I went to Altamont, then I went to the Falcon ceremony, and then I went to Daytona and to help Bill try to do Indians.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I'll talk to you offline. So, what do you think? You think that the Steelers have a chance to finish out at 500? I mean, with their four, what are they? They're
We're
4 and
4
7?
and 7. If we could beat the Ravens in 2 weeks, then yeah.
I mean, you guys show that you guys can. It just got to be consistent, you know.
Because week 15 we played the Panthers. Week 16 we played the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders should be an easy dub.
I'm back.
All right. He's back. The last game that we said was the
Eagles at
Eagles.
Titans.
Okay. Next is Broncos at Baltimore.
I'm going Ravens. June.
Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens too. I mean, the pressure.
Bronco country, let's ride.
Oh my God! Stop.
So side note for the viewers, that defensive player on the Broncos got in Russell Wilson's face and cussed him out.
Yep. Purcell, something like that.
Mm-hmm. He told him, he said, stop fucking saying Bronco country, let's ride and fucking play.
I agree. That's what he said. I talked to
So
Russell.
give me your check.
Yeah, right.
Next game we have Browns at Texans. The game.
Sean Watson all day.
I'm
not even gonna be close either, bro. I think it's
gonna
be like 49-14 or something.
I'm gonna go Browns as well.
I went Browns as well.
Next we have Seahawks at Rams. I'm going Seattle.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Me three.
Frank, this is a game we talked about on FaceTime. Dolphins at 49ers.
I got Dolphins.
I don't know. Like, are we gonna get the Jimmy G that we get at home?
I'm gonna tell you why. Bro, that's what you pick.
It's not Jimmy G. I'm talking about that defense, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They've shut out
the
people.
Niners defense.
Yeah, Niners defense is they up there. And the thing about it is, man, if they start applying that pressure to Tua, can Tua make the right plays? We know Jimmy G's a game manager. We know he's going to do his thing. Can the Dolphins defense do to, I don't know, man. So that game, 49ers are favored by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Over
Damn.
46.5. I'm
Mhm.
going 49ers at
I'm
half.
gonna go Jimmy G too. Me and Frank were talking about this on FaceTime on Sunday. I said, Frank,
If Jimmy G could average more than what he does now, then I would have went Niners.
He might.
But it kind of goes back to that conversation we had with Jalen Hurts at one point. If it came down to a shootout, right? In this case, if it came down to a shootout, would you really depend on Jimmy G versus Tua?
Yeah. Yeah. You got Ayuk, you got Kettle, you got Juszczyk, you have McCaffrey,
you have Debo.
you have Debo. Bro,
You got Jimmy G.
That's gonna be a good game. We gotta make sure we watching that.
I think now that I said that and I said it out loud, right? I have to say this, bro. That is a scary man. That's like Waddle and Tyreek, but except Gesicki is not Kettle, and their best running back is not Wilson. Is not McCaffrey.
I'm gonna leave you one more question after we get done.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
All
You
right.
just brought it up.
Next game, Chiefs at Cincinnati Bengals.
Why?
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
So the Chiefs are only favored by 2 points. Hey, anchors up, baby. Let's go. Watch Joe Burrow make us look like shit tomorrow on Sunday. Well, y'all want to pick the Chiefs? Here we go.
That was Sam Darnold. Oh, y'all don't want to report the week I come back? All right, bet Frank. That's what he said to me on the phone.
Jamar Chase is back too, by the way.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's playing.
No, he's questionable.
Well, that's not out.
Yeah, I know he's questionable.
So we'll see.
Did June say who he wanted?
He said Chiefs.
Okay. Next we have Chargers at Raiders. I'm going Chargers.
Chargers, bro. Jay Herbo.
Chargers.
That is one disappointment that I cannot get over, bro. Chargers.
And they have the weapons. That's the thing.
Sometimes weapons don't help, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next, we have like they said, Justin Herbert is the next Phillip Rivers. Could get all these stats and can't take, Next is Colts at Cowboys.
I went
Cowboys. And on Monday, December 6th, we have the Saints at Bucks.
I got the Bucks.
Yeah, the way the Saints been playing the last 3 weeks, I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Bucks because Brady knows what's at stake, and they got to win. They got to at least be above 500. You know what I'm saying? So, I think he'll go out there and I'm gonna talk to Brady this week, and I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna FaceTime. Like, bro, what's going on, man? Like,
and that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
All right, but let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. I'm gonna start first. Great episode. 2 weeks, a week not doing it, so we're back for the first time. I think we talked about some good topics. Hopefully, these games this weekend will give us something more to talk about. It was good being here. Thank you for joining us. Who's next?
I go next. I just want one question.
Okay.
Lamar hasn't signed a contract. Jimmy G is just there right now. How do you see Lamar fitting in a offense like the 49ers? What type of offense? What type of hold on, let me say this. What type of offense?
That would be good. That would be scary. I think it would be good and scary.
Lamar in the 49ers?
That would be good and scary with Jimmy G as his backup.
With McCaffrey?
49ers are not afraid to spend money.
Wait a minute.
They're not.
McCaffrey and Debo and Kettle and Juszczyk, Ayuk, and then you have a top 5 defense? Bro, you bring Lamar Jackson to the 49ers, and I promise you, their stock has already went up. Because I think that Kyle Shanahan can make him the quarterback he needs to be. hands down. That's a good question.
Hey, 49ers, if you're listening,
Yeah, we're gonna
pick up on what we said.
Yeah, we're gonna at them.
Hey, June. All right, and oh, June, go ahead, do your closeout.
Hey, great to be here. Great time. Good to be back. This is just the beginning of the holidays. You know, we got holidays coming up in a few more weeks, but for now, we're gonna make the best of it and keep enjoying these weekly podcasts and the upcoming games.
Always a pleasure doing this with you guys. Missed you guys last week. But yeah, it was a good week. Great topics, good picks, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to Frank Presents the Play Call. Bye.